Welcome back to the Humble Market Timer YouTube channel. Once again, if you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. In today's video, I wanted to talk about a particular company that I think that is interesting, that I believe that it proves a point that even if a stock has run a bit, it could still be an ideal time to get into the stock, have a position, and still expect to get some substantial gains. Before I go any further, let me give you my disclaimer. Again, these are my sole ideas, not investment advice. Now, this particular company that I want to focus on is ONDS Holdings. And the reason why I want to focus on ONDS Holdings is because, again, I believe the chart from a technical standpoint is setting up beautifully for a big move. And one of the reasons why I believe it's set up for a big move, not only because it has a bullish setup, but because it also fits within a theme that is very prevalent in the U.S. right now. As many of you know, there has been a massive push recently in increasing our defense. Lots going on in the world, and part of that is through the production of drones. And about, I think it was June 11th, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth put together this video where he basically did sort of a theatrical presentation of the U.S. military unleashing drone dominance. So basically what they want to do is they want to really remove all red tape, make things as easy as possible for companies in this space to produce drones and things that are associated with those drones, and have it done so with, again, there being no issues and that things are as smooth as possible for those companies. And to further express that we are emphasizing, and when I say we, I mean the U.S., is emphasizing on drone dominance. They also put out a press release today saying that the Pentagon is to increase low-cost drone production in the U.S. Again, doubling down on how we are, as a country, we are poised and putting all hands on deck to make sure that we have the military with as much drones as possible for potential military action if necessary. Now, ONDS Holdings, they, as a company, they do secure networks for drone communications. So they don't actually necessarily make the drones, but they're involved in the communications aspect of the drones. So they are just as much a part of this drone theme as the actual drones themselves. And what I really like about this company, because again, even though it has run quite a bit, as you can see, it had a good pop at the end of 2024, but the first 3 to 4 months of 2025, it really had quite a dip. And as you can see, it has curled back up and is starting to approach the highs that it had back at the end of 2024. But one of the things I talk about often in my videos is I talk about symmetry in charts. And this chart for ONDS has just absolute perfect symmetry. You can see the cup right here, where you have this side is pretty similar to this side. You can see the dip here matches the dip here, and then you have the move here matches the move here, and then you have another dip here, and that matches this dip here. And then I believe that this move here is what we are seeing with this action here. So again, you can see the symmetry. You can see that one side of the move looks almost identical to the other side of the move. And you can make a reasonable assessment and guesstimation that you at a minimum should reach the highs up here if you do have this level of symmetry. And to continue to back up that symmetry, you can also look at this chart from a technical standpoint and look at the bullish formation. And one of the bullish formations that I talk about very often on my channel is the inverse head and shoulders. And as you can see here, you have a shoulder here, and then you have the head here, and it goes to the neckline, and then you have another shoulder here. So you have a textbook inverse head and shoulders, and you can see how clear the neckline is. You can see how it was rejected at this point, rejected here again, rejected here again, and then the last 3 days it briefly broke the neckline, but it never confirmed. And so the past 3 days, it has been consolidating on that neckline. And I believe that once we get a confirmation of a break beyond this neckline, you will have a very swift move to retest the highs of the end of 2024 in that $3.40 price range. That represents about a 40% move. So I believe very quickly, once you have a break of this neckline, you will see that point. But I believe it can have even more upside, because if you look again at this inverse head and shoulder, if you take a measured move from the neckline to the deepest part of the head, and then you move take that measured move to the breakout point, you see that it will move for a measured move to about $4. So again, you're talking about a move potentially from $2.40 all the way to $4 if the measured move triggers. So we're talking about a 40% move at minimum if it retests highs to potentially $4. That could be a potential 80% move approximately, even though the company has already moved off lows from earlier this year. So you have that level of explosive movement, even though the stock has already moved a bit, because the technical setup and it aligns with an overarching theme that is very present in the world today, and is being talked about day in and day out, and that provides you with high probability of a major move and in turn major profits. Hope you liked the video. Again, if you like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.